Gunn's Superman. This is the most emotionally vulnerable version of Superman yet. A hero who dives deep into his personal interior life and faces the internal struggle of balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing, rather than simply showcasing his physical power. Versus Man of Steel. This version of Superman is a more serious, conflicted, and evolving character. He's not the simple, wholesome hero that many grew up with, but rather a powerful figure who must navigate a complex, fearful world while grappling with his own identity and the weight of being a savior. I'm the Shinnin, and I'm here to analyze their power level, durability, and morality, to uncover who would win in a one-on-one fight. James Gunn's Superman 2025 isn't just your standard cape and tights reboot. Nah, this one flips the Man of Steel's entire legacy on its head with a twist that's got fans arguing across every corner of the internet. So instead of rehashing Baby Kal-El's rocket ride, Smallville days, and the whole learning to fly montage, this movie drops us straight into the action. Superman's already the guy, flying around, saving people, and writing headlines at the Daily Planet. Pretty standard, right? But here's the kicker. The real origin story sneaks in through a damaged holographic message from Krypton, left behind by his parents, Jor-El and Lara. Now, at first, Superman only hears the classic version. You know it. You were sent here to inspire hope, to survive Krypton's destruction, to guide humanity. It's the speech we've all heard a million times, the very thing that shaped Clark into the symbol of hope we know and love. But then Lex Luthor, of course it's Lex, drops the bombshell. He uncovers the full message and broadcasts it to the world. And the truth? Yo, it's dark. Turns out Jor-El and Lara weren't just saving their son, they were sending him as a conqueror. They literally call humanity a flawed race, meant to be ruled by Kal-El. Their plan wasn't about hope, it was about domination. This revelation shatters Superman's identity. Think about it. His whole life he believed he was living up to his parents' dream. Now he learns their dream was basically world domination. The movie shifts into a full-on psychological war. Kryptonian destiny versus human upbringing. And here's where Gunn nails it. The story isn't about Superman's powers or his alien heritage. It's about his choices. He chooses the values the Kents raised him with. Kindness, compassion, justice. He decides to be a hero not because of where he came from, but because of who he wants to be. That right there? That's the rebellion. Against his parents' dark legacy. Against the cynical, gritty takes we've seen a million times. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It really helps out the channel. Thanks for your support. Among all the heroes in DC, Superman has always been the top dog, the icon of pure, raw power. Back in the early comics, this dude was insane. Writers just kept cranking him up. Time travel, lifting planets, even sneezing away solar systems. Basically, the guy was untouchable. But James Gunn? He's not going that route. Gunn straight up said he doesn't want his Superman to be this overpowered god where nothing matters. Instead, he's dialing it back, making him younger, more vulnerable, and honestly, way more relatable. This Superman isn't starting at max level. He's still growing, still figuring himself out. And because of that, there are actual stakes. Other heroes matter. Fights feel real. Now let's talk powers because they're still stacked. The classic Kryptonian package. When you hear Superman, you think God-tier powers, right? Strength, speed, flight, heat vision, freeze breath, X-ray vision, super hearing. The whole shebang. But here's the thing. In the DC universe, that's not actually unique to him. On their home planet of Krypton, Kryptonians were just regular people. Scientists, soldiers, politicians, nothing too crazy. But the moment they step under a yellow sun, their biology flips the switch. Suddenly, their cells turn into living solar batteries, soaking up energy and unlocking all those insane abilities. So yeah, Superman isn't special because he has these powers. He's special because of what he does with them. Any Kryptonian under a yellow sun could be a powerhouse. But Clark Kent, he's the one who became Earth's greatest hero. While he's the most powerful physical force on the planet, more powerful than any normal human, any metahuman, Superman is just insanely strong. We're talking billions of tons, lifted and carried like it's nothing. The guy's caught falling skyscrapers like they're toy blocks. And in one scene, he casually stops a giant kaiju's foot from crushing a dog, didn't even break a sweat. And when it came to throwing hands, every single punch was a statement. He staggered that massive kaiju with ease, one-shotted entire squads of Raptor soldiers, and went blow for blow with Ultraman, a guy who was supposed to be just as strong. Even Lex admitted Superman might actually be stronger. But it's not just strength. Superman's durability is next level. His body is insanely dense, reinforced by this supercharged electromagnetic aura that makes him nearly untouchable. Most things don't even scratch him. Only beings on his level, or kryptonite, can really put him down. But here's the kicker. The sun. Superman is a living solar battery. The second he's injured, sunlight basically reboots him, healing him almost instantly. And even without being at full strength, the feats are wild. He tanked the pull of a black hole. He literally swam through an anti-proton river that would shred a human instantly. That's how durable he is. Now speed? Forget about it. Superman's not just fast, he's supersonic. He can cross the globe in seconds, blitz through battlefields before enemies can even blink, dodge high-speed strikes, and close gaps in milliseconds. And when he wants to, heat vision and freeze breath come into play. He's creative with them too, burning through entire squads at once, or even using freeze breath to counter the pull of a black hole. And while he doesn't have formal martial arts training, Superman's fighting style is deadly efficient. It's all about overwhelming force, pinpoint accuracy, and insane adaptability. He rarely ever goes all out, but that's the thing. He doesn't need to. Most fights end before they even begin. And when he does slow down mid-fight, it's not because he's struggling. It's because he's stopping to save the people around him. Zack Snyder's cinematic universe presents a unique and compelling origin story for Superman, one that is deeply rooted in themes of alienation, destiny, and the struggle for humanity. It's important to note that this origin story is not a direct adaptation of any single comic book run, but rather a reinterpretation that draws from various sources to create a new narrative. Now, let's go back, way back, to the dying planet Krypton, a world of cold science and genetic fate. But in the middle of that collapse, hope. Jor-El, played by Russell Crowe, breaks centuries of Kryptonian tradition. Instead of engineering his son, he conceives him naturally. Kal-El, the first natural birth in generations. Meanwhile, General Zod, a war-hardened protector of Krypton, launches a coup, believing he alone can save the planet by enforcing a brutal new order. While chaos erupts, Jor-El takes a desperate gamble. He steals the Codex, Krypton's entire genetic legacy. Jor-El embeds the Codex into Kal-El's cells and launches him to Earth just as Zod storms in. The two clash, science versus war, but Jor-El is killed. Zod is captured and sentenced to the Phantom Zone, but not before swearing vengeance. Cut to Earth. Kal-El's ship crash lands in Smallville, Kansas. He's found by Jonathan and Martha Kent, who raise him as Clark. But growing up isn't easy when you can hear everything, lift anything, and don't even know who you are. Clark grows up isolated, hiding his powers, questioning his place in the world. He saves a school bus, endures bullying, but always holds back, because Jonathan fears the world isn't ready for him. As a man, Clark becomes a drifter. He helps in secret, oil rig fires, bus rescues, but never stays long. He's searching for purpose, for identity, and then he finds it. In the Arctic, Clark discovers a long-lost Kryptonian scout ship. Inside, he meets a hologram of his real father, Jor-El, who reveals everything: his Kryptonian origins, the Codex inside him, and his true destiny, to be a symbol of hope. Clark embraces who he is. He dons the suit. He learns to fly. And just when the world is catching its breath, Zod returns. Freed from the Phantom Zone, Zod comes to Earth, not for revenge, but for resurrection. He wants to terraform Earth into New Krypton. And to do it, he needs the Codex, encoded in Superman's DNA. Now the fate of two worlds hangs in the balance. Superman isn't just fighting Zod, he's fighting for the soul of both Krypton and Earth. He's the last son of a fallen world, the bridge between civilizations, and the living embodiment of choice. Zack Snyder's Superman isn't here to be liked. He's here to grow. He's feared, misunderstood, tested by fire, but he chooses to rise. Not as a god, not as an alien, but as a man who decides to stand for something greater. Zack Snyder's Superman isn't just another take on the Man of Steel. Nah, this dude is built different. He's one of the most powerful versions of Superman we've ever seen on screen, period. Let's start with the obvious, the strength. And it's not just comic book strong, it's mythic. This man casually catches skyscrapers and lifts submarines like they're groceries. But the big one? Ripping apart the mother boxes. These are alien, reality-bending artifacts that not even the entire Justice League could separate. Superman strolls in, tears them apart, tanks the cosmic shockwave, and walks it off. That's not strength. That's God-tier force. And when it comes to opponents, forget it. Steppenwolf was ragdolling Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Cyborg. But the second Superman shows up, game over. Snyder flexes hard with Kal-El's durability. The man eats bullets, missiles, and doomsday punches for breakfast. But the real flex? A nuclear blast. In Batman vs Superman, even after kryptonite exposure, Clark takes a direct nuke to the face. It leaves him shriveled and weak, but he survives. Snyder himself admitted he wasn't even sure if nukes could kill this Superman. That's how insane his durability is. But wait, he's not just strong and tough, he's fast. We're talking hypersonic flight speeds, outpacing fighter jets, and even pushing the Flash. Remember the resurrection fight? Barry Allen hits the Speed Force. The world slows down, but then Superman looks at him. That single glance? Legendary. He might not be as fast as Flash, but he's close enough to make it terrifying. And Snyder doesn't nerf his powers either. Heat vision hot enough to slice through damn near anything. Freeze breath that shuts down Steppenwolf's axe. A weapon that was tanking strikes from Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Super hearing that spans cities. Snyder gives him the complete Kryptonian arsenal, all firing at full force. And of course, the resurrection fight. Freshly back from the dead, not in his right mind, and he solos the Justice League. Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg, and the Flash. None of them could stop him. He catches Diana's lasso, overpowers Arthur's strength, no-sells Cyborg's weapons, and literally tracks Barry at super speed. The only thing that saved them? Lois Lane. If she wasn't there, the League was finished. But here's the difference maker. Snyder's Superman isn't afraid to get his hands dirty when the stakes demand it. If killing is the only way to protect innocent lives, he'll do it. We saw it when he snapped Zod's neck to save a family from certain death. We saw it again when he obliterated Steppenwolf without hesitation, blasting him with heat vision, freezing his weapon, and helping send him straight back to Apocalypse in pieces. This isn't a naive Superman who always finds a clean way out. This is a warrior god who will do whatever it takes to protect humanity. So why is Snyder's Superman so powerful? Simple. He's written as a modern myth. Every feat, from surviving a nuke, to bodying Steppenwolf, to keeping pace with the Flash, cements him as a protector god on a cosmic scale. His only real limits are kryptonite, magic, and his own restraint. And that restraint? That's the key. Because Snyder's Superman isn't just a god who can destroy worlds. He's a god who chooses when to unleash that power. He doesn't kill recklessly, but when innocents are in danger, he doesn't hesitate either. All right, guys, we're diving straight into a dream matchup. James Gunn's Superman versus Zack Snyder's Superman. Two takes on the Man of Steel. Two very different vibes. So here's the deal. Both are insanely powerful Kryptonians. But the question is, who's actually got the edge when fists start flying? Let's break it down into three categories: powers, durability, and mentality. 1. Powers. Gunn Superman. He's got the full Kryptonian package: strength, flight, speed, heat vision, freeze breath, super senses. But Gunn has emphasized this is a younger, less experienced, more vulnerable Superman. He's not at planet-busting levels yet. His powers are still growing, and while he's insanely strong compared to any other hero, he's not operating at his absolute ceiling. Snyder's Superman, maxed out, god-tier Kryptonian. His feats put him above virtually everyone on Earth, ripping apart mother boxes, a feat no one else in the league could accomplish, surviving a nuclear blast, keeping pace with Flash and the Speed Force. This is Superman at his apex. Edge. Snyder's Superman. Raw power output is simply higher. 2. Durability. Gunn's Superman. Can tank ridiculous punishment, anti-proton rivers, black hole pulls, missile strikes, super dense body with solar healing. His healing factor under the sun keeps him alive even after serious damage. But again, Gunn is intentionally keeping him more grounded. Snyder's Superman. This guy takes a nuke to the face and walks away. Tanks Doomsday's Kryptonian-level strikes. No-sells Steppenwolf's axe that was carving through Atlantean steel in Amazonian weaponry. Snyder's cowl is built to withstand cosmic-level punishment. Edge. Snyder's Superman. His feats push him closer to invulnerable. Lastly, mentality. Gunn's Superman. A younger, more idealistic hero. Still learning, still wrestling with his place in the world. Gunn wants him vulnerable and human, which means he may hold back more, second-guess himself, and avoid killing. Snyder's Superman, not naive, willing to kill when necessary, Zod Steppenwolf. He doesn't recklessly abuse his power, but when the stakes are high and innocents are threatened, he'll unleash hell without hesitation. Snyder's Superman is a warrior god with battle-tested mentality. Edge, Snyder's Superman, experience and willingness to finish fights make him more dangerous. Winner, Snyder's Superman.